Oh, Jesus. Oh, no, 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 no. That's not okay, bro. You can't just be. Sir Fosway, you're going to make me cry. I'm a thug. I'm a gangster. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are here with this season, Better Be Season, finale of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We're on episode 6, which is called The Morrow. So last episode was crazy. Like that was the culmination of the Battle of the Seven, or the Trial of Seven. And it was brutal. It was rough. It was knockdown, drag out. But in the end, we had Duncan and his side winning, and very narrowly winning. And we got a little insight into Dunk's past as a child. We learned a little bit more about how he ended up with Sir Arlen, why Sir Arlen has such an impact on him, and the way that even though he's no longer with Dunk in the physical form, he still very much is a motivating factor for what he does. But anyway, we did win, but at a very high price. Unfortunately, the next heir in line, Baelor, lost his life. He got hit accidentally by his brother. Well, not accidentally. The force of it was accidental by Maker, his own brother. And yeah, unfortunately, it was a fatal blow. So yeah, we won, but a heavy cost was paid for it. So guess we'll have to see what the ramifications of this is. I was made aware by the people in the comments, thank you so much, that that Baelor has 2 sons. So the succession would continue with his children before it would move on. And so yeah, we'll have to see. I guess his sons will be the ones who will decide what will happen, I guess, to Dunk. I do think Baelor had every intention of, if Dunk survived, bringing him in as potentially a knight or of his own or a Kingsguard. We'll have to see what happens now, because again, I don't know. Arian does not come across as a forgiving type despite being mollywopped out there. And I really am curious as to how Maker is going to take all of this, because this is just blown so wildly out of proportion. And to see, you know, his son get hurt and now his brother die at his hands, that's a heavy burden. And I really do wonder if any of that's going to transfer onto Dunk. So lots to look forward to. I'm so sad that this last episode is still only like 30 minutes. Like I feel like we need an hour, but we'll take it. So let's jump in. Just before I do though, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Even though this show is done, I react to all things Game of Thrones here. So I will be reacting to House of the Dragon, which will be coming back very soon. So yeah, definitely stay on this journey with me. Hopefully you can find something else on my catalog to keep you company while we wait. And also just a reminder that if you'd like to see the entire season of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms uncut as far as a reaction, you can do so on my Patreon. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. Not Jazz. Hi, Lionel. What's going on? This viewpoint. Oh, my baby's in depression. I get it, but all you tried to do was save your girl.
Shame it's all over.
What? Is that shame? I don't think it's a shame.
You could come with me.
Look at you.
Make merry. I'll sharpen that iron of yours so you don't make such a grand fool of yourself next time.
I mean, it wasn't a true sword fight.
His wounds, they have mortified it. It's beyond my abilities.
Oh, the others fucking girl me. Beyond your... An itchy asshole is beyond your abilities, my friend.
Well, I mean, a lot of y'all would cure that if you just wipe your asses after just randomly shitting in fields, but... Dunk, you need to want to live, bro.
Come with me to Storm's End, and I will love you like a brother.
Oh, he means that shit.
And if not... Well, fuck you. I'll hate you like a brother.
It really is, one way or another with these guys, huh? Just wouldn't be a Night of the Seven Kingdoms episode if we didn't see some form of bodily fluid.
All I do is bring pain and suffering to those around me.
You've done the realm of kindness. You'll see that one day.
You have.
The only good dragon is a dead dragon.
Well, not like that. That's not what I meant.
He gave his fucking life.
That part.
You speak of him with a little respect.
Fuck that, and fuck you.
Oh,
I fought for you.
you did.
Harding, Beesbury, the fucking apple boy, we fought for
That is
you.
true.
Fought for you against men sworn to protect him.
That
You
part.
risked nothing. And the gods don't favor a fraud.
That's an interesting perspective. I didn't think of it like that.
This is mockery.
Oh, look at the broken shield.
There's a war coming.
That is a great symbolism.
Taylor of House Targaryen, Prince of Dragonstone,
Oh, he's a Dragonstone prince.
Hand of King Daeron the Good,
Who's behind? Who's the girl with the
Lord of the Seven
A Valerian? Dunk couldn't even go to his funeral. I'm gonna need you to want to live, Dunk. Lionel did not have the most sweet way of saying it, but I think he was trying to let you know that a lot of people sacrificed a lot for you, so don't give up, bro.
Your father, he was
This is Valar?
a great man.
He died in my armor.
Look at the gray in his hair already. Not gray, sorry, it's the white, the Targaryen, never mind.
How many fathers have died in their sons?
I could not say.
Someone in my comments noted that that's the reason why the helm probably malfunctioned too. Wasn't fit for Baelor's head.
He had in him to be a great king. The greatest since Aegon the Dragon.
I believe it. I think Dunk does too. Don't hate him.
Why would the gods take him and leave you?
I don't know.
I've wondered the same.
He has. But all men are equal under God, or gods in this case.
We went by your camp, but you weren't there.
Oh, Mr.
I
Fossaway.
get worried.
Hmm.
You've come from Baelor's funeral.
Everyone just toe up from that fight. Damn.
Everybody blames me for his death.
Do
Don't
they?
they?
Do they?
I don't.
I think most people know that that was not your fault, bro. You didn't make him fight for you. You didn't blackmail. Aww. Dunk needs a hug. You're a real one, Fossaway. He's like, all right, it's getting a little weird now.
Okay.
Back to manly things. Feelings. Pui.
Stefan took my tent. Said I betrayed the family by abandoning him.
You took the tent when you lost? Bitch.
I don't be. He's just mad that he lost.
That's right. You can hold that over him
First
forever.
Title 7 in 100 years, and Lord Stefan Fossaway got beat by his little cousin.
And he got nothing. None of those lands or titles.
I think I broke one of my cousin's ribs.
Yay!
Morning.
Well, I guess we are winning in more ways than one, huh?
This is Rowan.
She was in the stands. Oh, he's like, should I leave?
My wife.
Oh,
Nice
congrats.
to meet you, Sir Duncan.
So she's also
Oh,
prostitute.
right.
Okay.
Said I fought like a wild bull.
And with all the grace of one.
That's true, but he's a good fighter. Better than he looks. Dunk's like, should I leave you two alone? Or-
And she offered to help me out my armour, and
One thing led to another. Yeah, we get it. We get it.
she said I've got a with child now, so I figured we ought to get married.
Dunk's like, are you sure it's your baby?
Feels like a boy.
Where she's looking at Dunk like, don't blow my cover, bro. She said, don't blow up my spot.
You'd have come with us. He's not going anywhere. He's been through enough.
Leave him.
It's fine.
That's a royal decree. Trying to get the man in trouble again.
Congratulations.
Dunk's a good guy. Could have blown her spot all the way up. Because that is not that man's baby.
I'm sending Aerion to the east. A few years in the free cities may change him for the better.
He's terrorized somewhere else, huh? I guess it's something.
Some men will say I meant to kill my brother.
That might have been me last episode. I was a little emotional, guys.
The gods know it is a lie, but I will hear the whispers to the day I die.
You will, unfortunately.
You swung the mace, my lord.
Oh, Dunk.
But it was for me Prince Baelor died.
Well, he's like, we're both at fault.
You will hear them whisper as well.
Some, not many.
How can a foot be worth a prince's life?
And what answer does your tree give you?
Indeed. Tell us, Dunk. You're actually very insightful.
Mightn't it be that some morrow will come when I'll have need of that foot, when the realm will need that foot even more than a prince's life?
It's a valid point.
Not bloody likely.
Oh,
The realm has as many hedge knights as hedges.
don't take it out on him. You both are mourning the same thing.
It is time he was a squire. But he tells me he will serve no knight but you.
Thank you, Egg.
He's an unruly boy, as you would have noticed.
Compared to Arian, he's a...
He's
Exactly.
a stern hand.
He's a bloody saint.
Will you have him?
I take back everything I ever said about you, Maker.
You'll swear your sword to me, and Aegon can squire for you while you train him. My master-at-arms will finish your own training.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
But you still have much to learn.
You do. That was a very fatherly thing he just said to you right there.
But I think I'm done with princes.
It's like, y'all have cost me a lot. Oh, again, it's not you. My boy's in depression. I think if anyone can convince him, it's Egg, though. I don't know if this is a bad deal. It's true, getting into the Targaryen world is just a minefield, you know?
Sir?
I can't, Egg. I'm sorry.
You won't, but you could.
Maybe you're not the knight I thought you were.
Oh. Digging into that guilt bag. Pack your bags. We're going on a guilt trip.
Have you heard this story before?
Ooh, flashback.
From you.
Is this his last day? It's looking like a very last day feeling.
It's custom for each to nail a penny to the oak in the square. And if we return, to take it down.
Interesting.
Why did you never knight me? Did you think I'd leave you?
The answer to the question we've been asking all season.
Sir?
My guy is gone. Well, we got our answer, didn't we?
Sir?
Someone brought up a very interesting moral conundrum of whether or not he was telling the truth about that and whether or not that takes away from the fact that Dunk does stand for honor and, you know, righteousness. Oh,
And
Jesus!
That's why they call it the penny tree.
No, that's not okay,
A
bro.
true
You
knight
can't just be...
always finishes a story.
Well, geez. How many times did he do that? Just kept keeping on my ass. Hey, what's up? Your dream came true. Please tell me no more.
Have you no shame coming here? Those men are dead because of you.
Will you take Egg to Squire?
Back to the important things. My man Darren is carrying a very heavy load, so please leave him.
My brother wasn't always such a little monster.
Egg is no monster.
I don't think he was talking about
I mean
Egg.
Egg.
Yeah, Egg's fine.
Perhaps the seeds of madness are sown in the womb, as the maesters say.
Interesting.
But Arian was quite the glad child once.
Was it after Mom died?
He liked fishing.
I have a theory. I have a theory that Egg's birth affected the life of their mom, and that's why Arian has such vim for Egg. It sadly happens. Unfair, wrong, but real. What you seeing there, bro? Is your hair growing back? Yep, got that peach fuzz. And the knife is gone. I completely understand the impulse, but honestly, death is too easy for this kid. Ooh! Hi! I was just seeing if he needed a shave. That's what you do when you're caretaking your brother, right? Moonwalk out of here. Someone tells me Maker's not going to say anything about it.
What?
What exactly?
I want you to know I do not blame you for ruining my name day. It was a rotten thing they've done to you. And you were right in your reply.
Oh, it was your name day? So sorry.
Thanks.
Aw, thank you for that. Didn't I say most people are never going to blame Dunk for what happened that day?
I will take Egg to Squire. But not at Summerhall.
Hedge Knight?
Might be he's better served away from castles and servants and
His family?
Quite frankly, at the moment, yeah. Your words, not his.
I would bring him on the road with me. He'll learn to squire as I did. Sleep in inns, now and again in the halls of some landed knight or lesser lordling.
See the world for what it is.
I forbid him to live as a peasant.
I think Egg's okay with it.
He cannot sleep in ditches and eat hard salt beef.
But he has. And he kind of liked it.
Darren never slept in a ditch.
And look at him.
All the beef Arian ever ate was thick and rare and bloody.
Damn, straight to the heart, hey? But you need to hear this, Maker. Your kids are a mess.
He's my lost son.
Yeah, and Dunk will protect him with his every breath. Aw, the broken sword. Or shield.
Sweetfoot.
Did they give your horse back? He didn't even ransom it back. He didn't even get a chance to do the proper joust. Sir Fosway, you're gonna make me cry.
You bought me a horse.
Why is this hitting me so hard? I'm a thug. I'm a gangster.
What I should have done all along.
Which is?
Right hard in the other direction. What about you?
He's got a wife and a kid now. He's got to go home.
You should have your Sweetfoot back in any matter.
Thank you. Because that was Sir Arlen's horse.
I think an orchard might suit her better.
Aw.
What? I can't.
You can.
She's a fine animal.
Yeah, Sweetfoot's like I am. Thank you.
Hello there, Sweetfoot. Do you like apples?
As a matter of fact, she does. I was going to say back to not bathing again, but he does have wounds, so he probably shouldn't be getting them wet right now. To the chagrin of anyone who has to stand near him for more than 10 minutes. Is he gonna nail a penny? Oh, careful. I feel like you're going to cut yourself. I don't like it. He can't afford any more wounds right now. I'm pretty sure he's got tetanus. There it is. Let's hope he comes back for it someday.
Sir Duncan!
That's right. Daddy said I could come.
My Lord Father says I am to serve you.
Take it back, Maker. You're all right. You're all right.
Serve you, sir.
Start right off.
And there are 9 kingdoms, sir.
Of what? No, but
I've never been over the Red Mountains before.
Let's go there.
They have good puppet shows in Dawn.
As in, go get your wife, Dunk. You gotta get her to paint you a new shield. That's Sir Arlen's spirit. That is a great representation. Arlen would just kind of go off his own way, wouldn't he? Also maybe somewhat symbolic of him finally not needing to be hovering over Dunk anymore. Oh, there's more. Oh God, Egg, did you lie? Egg, did you lie? I still won't get mad at you, Maker. The way y'all keep losing this kid.
Where's Aegon?
I've not seen him, my prince. I will ask the Septons.
You really ought to put that kid on the leash. You should know that by now.
Where the fuck is he?
You know where he is.
People say a man.
Muscle and blood. Bum, 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 ba-da-dum-dum. I love this song. All right, I think I heard there was an after credit scene. Okay, no, that must have just been that one that came after the title screen. Okay, that's all well and good, guys. That is actually hilarious. Egg. I'm not even mad at you. At least your dad knows where you're at. I do think Maker will, while annoyed, will feel pretty safe knowing that Dunk, of all people, is with his kid. But okay, well, that was a nice summation to the season. I mean, I'm very, very much loving the idea of getting to see the adventures of Dunk and Egg if we do get another season. But I think that this season did a fantastic job. Even though I would have loved for the episodes to be a bit longer, I think they did a great job of introducing us to this character of Dunk and getting us an idea of what makes this guy tick and how quickly he can endear people to him and how quickly he can inspire people to want and do better with just his aura, just his presence, just the way that he carries himself. And also seeing a bit about Egg and his life and kind of where he's coming from and how he's at such a critical point in his life. And Dunk coming in right now may very well be the thing that will be the tipping scale to him having a much different outcome than if he had stayed in the same life. But let's let's talk about a few key things in this episode. With Dunk, the depression, right? Understandable. I said this last episode that I knew that the death of Baylor was going to weigh heavy on Dunk. You know, he really he was so grateful that Baylor saw past his poor beginnings and past the fact that he wasn't a known knight or any of the things that a lot of people looked down on him for. He saw the value in him and took a chance on him, and then of course fought for him. And for a prince to do that for a nobody hedge knight is crazy, really. So I knew that he was going to take that and blame himself, and we see that he basically was just kind of sitting under that tree, letting himself waste away. You know, we heard the maester say, oh, it's you know, the wounds of mortified, he's dying. Now, do I think that's true? Not necessarily. Possibly. It could just be a slow poison that'll, you know, eventually kill him. But I honestly think it's because he didn't really have the motivation, right? I am one of those people who firmly believes, and it's been medically proven as well, that your mental state deeply affects your physical state. As in, if you have a will to live, you will continue to live. But if you have resigned yourself to die, you will deteriorate quickly. So anyways, I think that Dunk was feeling very unworthy. I think he was blaming himself. He was blaming the situation. Like, you heard him say, everything I get close to, everything I touch, you know, it gets destroyed, right? And of course, we saw last episode, his first love / friend, she died. And again, it wasn't because of Dunk. It was actually sadly because of a very poor choice she made, but still, he carried that, right? His father died in a terrible way from what we heard. His mom took off. Like, it's in his mind, whoever he gets close to, Tanzil, he didn't even get close to her. He just dared to have feelings for her. And she ended up getting hurt and having to run away to Dorne, right? So for poor Dunk, it's just been a lot. It's been a lot for him. And because of that, in the back of his mind, he has clearly always believed that maybe he's the source of all this, right? Why does bad luck keep happening to him? And he has a really good conversation there we see with Lionel, who, again, can we talk about the fact that Lionel has known this man for, I don't know how long this tourney has been. I'm thinking it's effectively been a few weeks. And in that short time, Lionel's like, bro, come back to Storm's End with me. It's great. I'll give you a place to live. We'll hang out. We'll drink. We'll swim, we'll fish, like we'll just basically do what Lionel does all the time, which is a whole lot of nothing. Right? We all know he's our king of reverie, but yeah, he's like, come back with me, like I'll take care of you, I'll treat you as a brother. And I know that Lionel meant that, right? And again, that shows you just how much trust, like I said, and admiration that Dunk builds in people so quickly, because Lionel didn't even know this man from Adam, and now he's like, come live with me, come be in like my inner circle that other people probably beg and scrape and plot to get to all the time without success, right? And anyways, we see in that conversation, you know, Dunk kind of is like, he doesn't answer him. He actually doesn't give him an answer at that point. But you hear Lionel say, I can't exactly remember the comment he made, but effectively he was kind of like, oh yeah, he said that Dunk did the realm a favor by taking out a Targaryen. And this kind of goes back to that episode, you know, 3 episodes ago or 4 episodes ago, where the Fossaway kid was like, yeah, like, you know, the best thing, you know, that Targaryen can do is finish, you know, that's that whole thing. Basically stating what most of the realm does not love the Targaryens, right? They serve them because they have no choice, but for the most part, it is negative sentiment. They'd be fine with the Targaryens no longer being around. In this case, of course, Baelor was one of the ones that was not a fully rotten Targaryen, but you know, when your family's built up a negative reputation, that bias will be there. But anyway, you see that Dunk, of course, is like, how dare you? Like, he fought for me, he died for me, like, give him a little respect. And very interestingly, Lionel didn't exactly put it eloquently, but he basically said, well, screw that, actually, right? He's like, he basically said that doesn't make him special, right? He's like, we fought for you too. He's like, another two people died who came to fight for you. They died immediately. I fought for you. I'm banged up when I didn't have to be, right? He's like, we all went out there. We all risked our lives for you. Baelor went out there knowing that as a king, the heir of the king, that none of them could actually kill him. The one person who did was the one person who actually had rights to touch him, and that wasn't even on purpose. So he's like, it wasn't a real risk Baelor took, and it's true. Like, at worst, he was, well, of course, obviously we know it went sideways, but I get what, you know, Lionel was trying to say. He was like, really, if we're looking at this logically, the worst risk he took was getting a few injuries. Had that unlucky mace hit not landed, he would have had a few scratches and he would have been fine. That's not a true risk. He's like, I risked my life. I don't have a King's Guard to protect me. I don't have the royal, you know, the whole backing of the royal guard behind me. Neither did any of the other people who went out to fight for you. So actually, you know, basically Lionel was saying, don't deify this man, right? Like, it's not to say what he did wasn't good, but like he said, we're all equal here, honestly. And for him, it was a privileged risk that he took. It was low risk. in one way, right? So anyway, I also think that he wanted Dunk to recognize that his resignation at that moment, the fact that he was kind of just laying there, allowing himself to rot when other people had literally died for him to have the opportunity to be sitting under this tree moping, was a bit disrespectful as well, right? And so, you kind of need that tough love sometimes. I don't know how long Dunk was under that tree. I think we can say it was at least a week or two, because his, compared to what we saw on the battlefield, he looked better. Like, injuries like that are going to take at least a few months to heal. So again, I feel like he was there for a while, and that's why he kind of need that little bit of a shake from Lionel to be like, please stop disrespecting what we all did out there and get your ass up and figure out what you're doing next. You can't just sit here and die because of Baelor. I don't even think Baelor would want you to do that, right? And so we see from there that Dunk does, he waits till after the funeral is done, because of course that's a Targaryen only affair. But then, he goes and makes sure to say something to, I think it's Valar was his name. And I really love that, because, later on you hear the Fossaway kid be like, why did you go to the funeral? And he's like, I had to. And I agree. Like, I think even if he, which is what he did, stood at a distance during the ceremony, but then just came and, felt the need to at least offer condolences to his son, I think that's the least that Dunk could do to show appreciation for what Baelor ended up having to sacrifice. And we see that his son is, as expected. I didn't expect him to be, crazy towards Dunk. If he had been, I would have let him have it, honestly, just because grief's a crazy thing, but you could tell that is Baelor's kid. Much different approach than compared to Maker's kids. But yeah, you hear him basically just say that, express that it's crazy that his dad died in his armor, which is, as he said, it's almost always the other way around, right? And he also said he was young, like he had a future ahead of him. He would have been a great king, right? So again, just kind of emphasizing to Dunk the weight of the loss, right? Which Dunk already felt, but I think that, it's understandable that Valar wanted that to be known. And again, asking the question of, why did the gods spare you and not my dad, right? Because of course the belief system, as we heard, when it comes to the trial of seven, is that the gods allow the person who is righteous to live, right? And of course, the Targaryens, being narcissists by nature, they've believed that they are, right? They think that they're gods, right? Their purple eyes and their white hair, which of course they didn't put in the show, but the white hair part, yes, but not the purple eyes. But anyways, they're supposed to have an ethereal appearance, which is why they believe that they were gods amongst men. So of course, they're going to believe that the gods will always favor them, right? But the fact that it didn't happen, right? Again, I'm not saying that Valar believed in this 100%, but when you grow up with that propaganda, some of it probably does stick. And in the end, I think he was just thinking like, why my dad, right? My dad's a good guy. My dad, out of my family of absolute twisted MFers, my dad was one of the good ones. How did this happen? And we all feel that way, right? When a good person or someone who seems fairly good dies sooner than we expect, it always is a bit of question of, there's so many other more people out there who could have deserved to die. Why couldn't it have been Aryan, for example? But anyway, so yeah, that was kind of a touching moment. But again, I think it just reinforced to Dunk the importance, again, kind of reinforcing in a more eloquent way what Lionel was telling him, that, a really good person has laid down their life so that you could have this opportunity to be having another chance at life. So maybe not, let's not lay it under a tree. Let's figure out what we're going to do next. So anyway, from that point, we see that Maker wants to talk to him. And actually, should we talk about the Fossaway thing? Is kind of a light touch. Like really, that was just, again, that's a friend for life. The Fossaway kid is a friend for life for Dunk. I love that. He was a friend even before all this happened, but we see that he's now gotten my man got a wagon hitched to him unbeknownst. I think it's I think I'm reading that scene right in that I don't think he realized that his new wife was a lady of the night. I think she managed to keep that from him. I don't know how he missed it, but I guess if he wasn't looking for that kind of entertainment, he wouldn't have known. But yeah, she knows that Dunk knows, and that's why she kind of kept looking at him like, are you gonna blow my cover or what's going on right now? But Dunk, being that guy, being the thoughtful, kind person he was, he's like, listen, girl, let me not interrupt your hustle, right? If you found this guy, he's a good guy. I think she's going to be a good wife to him because, listen, the life of being a lady of the night is not an easy one at all. And now that she's with a child, better to have him in at least, I mean, yes, the Fossaways aren't the biggest house, but at least the kid will have a title and will be able to have a decent life that they wouldn't have growing up in a brothel. So anyway, we see that he's kind of settled out and that's what he's going to do. And once again, kind of loosely offering Dunk another place to go which I love this, right? Dunk doesn't really come from anywhere. And for him to go from at the beginning of this series being like, I don't know what I'm going to do now for money, for a place to stay or what without Sir Arlen, to now having Lionel Baratheon offer him a place to live, and then a Fossaway loosely being like, hey, you can follow me back. And then eventually we see that he even gets an offer from Maker, which we'll get to. Like, my man's him, right? Dunk is him. But anyway, so that happens. He gets summoned to Maker. And again, another really beautiful moment there where, Maker and him are kind of just sharing this grief over losing someone that they both respect. And obviously Maker's loss is much deeper, but they both feel a semblance of fault, right? Maker on his son's behalf, because he knows that Arion is the source of this. And I'm glad, I know a lot of people in my comments were vehemently defending Maker because, he's not been my favorite guy since I was introduced. And again, in my defense, I will say, I always look at a character based on what I'm being presented with in the show. And I kind of make my, my initial thoughts and judgments. But obviously, as the show goes on, if they show me different sides, my perspective will shift, right? There are some characters in general that I just don't like, but that's, most cases, I go with what I'm being presented. I've not read the books, so I didn't know who Maker is. And I know a lot of book readers are very passionate about Maker, so I respect y'all. I was just saying, based on what I'd seen, there were some things that just weren't rubbing me the right way. That's all I was saying. It's like, I don't really like him. But this episode kind of showed more of what people were saying in the comments about the kind of man that he is, right? Apparently he's always been a bit more of a grim person, and God knows growing up in the Targaryen family will do that to you. But anyway, in this in this moment, we see him say that he's gonna send Arion to the Free City. He's gonna send him to Essos to just wreak fresh hell, I guess. Because I'm like, how is this supposed to? I mean, I guess in one sense, we know that at least by the time we watched Game of Thrones, that Essos very much did not respect the Westerosi hierarchy the same way, right? Like, they knew who people were, they understood there was money and power, but it really did not fly with the same level of weight as it did in Westeros. So all that to say, there's that white hair is not going to get as much capital with Arion in Essos as it would in Westeros, right? He's not completely untouchable there. Obviously, he's going to have protection because he's a king, or not a king, sorry, a prince. But you get my point. He's not going to be treated as anything special. He will be mocked. He will be made fun of, and he's not going to have the weight of Westeros behind him if he runs his mouth off over there, right? And I think that's I think that's what Maekar is hoping for, is for him to get a little taste of this is what could happen, right? Like, right now you've got this golden, barrier around you, but go someplace where they don't give a damn about that, and where if you run your mouth in the wrong places, you will lose teeth next time. Dunk loosen a tooth, you might lose the whole mouth next time. You might get slashed in the face. You might get an ass whooping worse than what you got from Dunk. Like, give you some perspective. Do I think it'll work? We'll see. I don't think he's dealing with the fundamental issues here. But again, I don't think Maker's very capable of that in general, which is why 2 out of 3 of his kids are on well, actually all 3, because my boy was about to commit homicide today, or fratricide, I should say today, but we'll get back to that. So anyway, coming back, it was good to see that Maker, though, does recognize that despite everything that happened, Arion was the problem. Arion was the one who overstepped in the first place. I'm thinking he must have heard about what happened with dude with the broken leg, and then I think he also obviously knew what happened to the puppeteers. Like, he knows. Like, this, Arion was the one who was the problem, right? But of course, being a Targaryen, there's only so much he can do publicly to acknowledge that. So anyway, I like that he said that. And then afterwards, he brings up the fact that, once again, the same thing around why did you survive and my brother not, right? And Dunk's like, I asked myself the same question. Like, I don't think, that made any sense. But he's like, if I hadn't gone what I did, I would have lost a hand and a foot. And I know trying to compare a whole person's life to my limbs seems crazy, but at the same time, imagine if that had happened and I would needed to be of use later. Like, maybe it would have been very difficult, and it would have been, right? It's not like modern times where he would have had prosthetics to help him out, right? Like, once you lose a limb back then, it was very difficult to move forward with your life in many ways. You certainly couldn't have continued being a knight. So all that to say that I think Dunk did a good job of trying to illustrate that there was a reason why he went into this battle and didn't just resign to the false accusations that were being lobbed at him, but also that he understands that it sucks that someone like Baelor had to die for all of this. And anyway, Maker then acknowledging that Egg has a very special bond with Dunk, and because of that, he was willing to give Dunk a job. Like, he's like, you can go to Summerhall, train my son there. He can be your squire. I'll let that happen. You guys can keep your relationship. You'll be in a better position. You can train, because Dunk does need to train as far as like his swordsmanship and stuff. He is not at the same level, for example, as Arion, and it seems like a sweet deal. It does seem like a golden even deal. But Dunk rightfully says, respectfully, I'm done with princes. Princes are what got me in this. I was minding my business, minding my unwashed ass business, and this kid came out of nowhere, and within a matter of days, I'm suddenly going up against royals and people are trying to kill me. Like, this escalated so quickly. Right? So I get why he was like, mm-mm. And as I said in the episode, whenever you're dealing with the Targaryens, you have to be careful because it's always a minefield, right? It's never safe in the belly of that beast, even if you are a Targaryen. So I don't blame him for being like, it sounds good, but going in, and actually, I didn't even think about this during the episode, but actually him going there with the Targaryens, knowing that he's indirectly responsible for the death of the heir apparent, you get my point. Like, it would not have been a safe place for Dunk there either, actually. But anyway, Egg listens to this whole thing, and of course he's disappointed when he hears Dunk be like, I'm tired of princes, right? Because he thinks, of course, he's included with that, and it's not really Egg per se. It's more of what Egg represents, right? But anyway, we see that later on, Egg is clearly upset. He's despondent. He's going through his own thing, actually. That's probably focused on the least, is what Egg is feeling with this whole thing, because as I said last episode, he probably feels the weight of this a lot as well, because while he was not the person who swung the mace or the person who, signed his uncle up to fight, it was him running to Dunk in the first place that became the ripple effect of all of this, right? Or him actually leaving the inn where Darren had him and coming and following Dunk, you know what I mean? Like, as I said, Sansa Stark effect, right? Innocent in motive, but unfortunately the end result was very detrimental. So still, Egg's dealing with a lot and he doesn't really talk to people. I feel like he would talk to Dunk eventually, but definitely not in that house, right? He's not going to talk to a Targaryen about how he's feeling. So we see that they have I really love how they just showed us what happened here with Dunk. There's this whole moment with Egg. They didn't give him any dialogue, and I think that was important actually, because there wasn't anything really that could be said. I feel like that would encompass it well. But the moment where Egg's sitting in his room ruminating, because that kid overthinks like Dunk, and he looks in the mirror, he sees his reflection, he sees that his hair's starting to grow back, that white hair, that unmistakable mark of a Targaryen. And for Egg, he very much associates that hair with his brother, even though his father has it as well. But it just really is for him like it just a link between this person he right now has so much hate for and the reason for all of this happening in his mind. And he grabs that knife, and I love how they show the knife there, and then they switch to Egg, they come back, the knife is gone, and then Egg, at first I thought he was just gonna give himself a buzz cut again, but no, he heads to Aryen's room. He's thinking, maybe if I just take out this problem, because for him this is the problem, right? Even though he low-key knows that he's part of the problem, but in his mind, Aryen, this is the problem, right? If Aryen wasn't so terrible, if he wasn't such a jerk, if he didn't terrorize me, if he didn't go out there and mess with those puppeteers and make me go to Dunk for help and cause this big battle, none of this would have happened. My uncle would still be alive. I'd be able to keep playing the hedge knight. Everything, or the squire to the hedge knight. Everything was perfect till Aryen came along, right? Childish thinking, but you understand why he got there. So he's going in there and he's running on emotion. He's running on guilt. He's running on anxiety. He's running on just so many emotions. And because he's not talking to anybody, he's just moving on. And the way he's moving, you can see it's autopilot, right? He's not really thinking what he's like. I mean, he knows what he's doing, but he's not really thinking it through, Again, he's also like 10, so there's only so much he can think about. But he knows enough to know that hurting his brother is not okay or right. But we see he gets in there, and I love that Maker clearly saw him coming in from the second he walked through that doorway. And he could have said something. He could have yelled. He could have been, what are you doing? What's in your hand? What's up? He could have done any of that stuff, which most parents would have. But he doesn't say anything. You can see he's waiting to see how far is Egg gonna go with this? How close is he gonna get? And when he gets close enough to the bed, Maker's like, okay, it's serious. And he doesn't say anything. He just makes sure he moves enough in the chair to let Egg know he's not alone. He looks over, he's just looking at him, and the look on Maker's face, there's no judgment, there's no anger, there's no disgust. It's just, my interpretation is just weariness. Like, he's just tired. He's just tired. Like, really, my son, I got one son lying here, beaten within an inch of his life. My other son, who I was worried sick about, is walking into this room with a knife, looking at his brother like he wants to put that knife in him. What the hell? And my brother died, right? Like, it's been a hell of a week for Maker. It's been a hell of a week. So you can tell he's just tired, and he gets up and he doesn't scold Egg. He doesn't do any of those things that you would expect. He just puts his hand on him, right? But gives him as much physical affection as I feel like he's probably capable. And Egg just drops the knife. And the tears start to flow. And you actually see him lean on his dad, which is actually a good thing because I wasn't sure how comfortable Egg feels with his father. So, I mean, it's good to know that he doesn't feel any fear towards him, but I don't feel like there's a lot of closeness either. But I think that now maybe if never before, Maker hopefully understands that there is something very wrong with the relationship between Arian and Egg. And I feel like Egg has probably told Maker about this in the past, and maybe Maker's either thought it was not that big or maybe didn't want to believe it. I don't know, but maybe after this, you know, I mean, he was already sending Arian away, so I feel like he feels like two birds, one stone with that one. But anyway, I love that whole scene and the fact that we had no dialogue. We didn't need it, right? Very well done. But anyway, and then from there we have Dunk in the, I don't know, tent of merriment, I guess we call it, and Darren's there. And what's Darren doing? He's right back to drinking, right? He's right back into acting like nothing happened, even though he's probably in the most pain, actually, out of all these people right now because of his ability. But digressing, we see that Dunk comes up to him and he's kind of like, why would you be here? In here of all places, when your uncle just died, in the face of everything. And obviously, because, you know, low key, like, if you hadn't added your false accusation, things wouldn't have gotten this bad either. But Darren just kind of looks at him like, respectfully, dude, this is how I cope. This is what I do. Look at me. Do I look like I'm reveling right now? Like, that man is barely being held together with booze and prayers, okay? That is all that is holding Darren together. So anyway, that thankfully, I think gives Duncan the kind of the kick in the pants of realizing that, no, I can't go out sad like this. I have to I got to get out there. I got to keep doing what Sir Arlen trained me to do. And again, we find out from his flashback that Sir Arlen actually never knighted him. We got the history around the penny, why, you know, they nailed the penny to the oak. But more importantly, the question we've been asking since, you know, at least I've been asking since episode 1 or 2, did Sir Arlen even attempt to knight Duncan? And they answered it. He didn't. He never got around to it. But, you know, again, some people debated. They said, you know, is Duncan still so honorable and righteous because he lied about the knighting part? You know, would it not fall under his code of conduct to be honest about never being actually knighted? And I feel like it's a bit 50-50. Like, yes, it's true. He's being dishonest. I do think, you know, it's not cool that he's lying about this. But I also think in the grander scheme of things that this lie is not, it doesn't have enough of a ramification, I guess, is for it to be something that wipes away everything that Dunk stands for, right? It's a means to an end in this case, and one that really doesn't harm anybody at this point. I won't lie and say that there couldn't be a down the line problem, but because Dunk for the most part embodies what it is that he's talking about and what he says he's about, and again, I've mentioned this multiple times, the fact that people are drawn to him and trust him and, you know, immediately stand straighter and taller and you know, try to do better. He is about that life. Like, he's not living a lie. But yes, he did lie about that, and it does suck that he had to lie about it. But I feel like that's one of those things where if you have to bend the rules in order to take down a barrier to doing what's going to be greater good, and it's really just a matter of like effectively it's paperwork. It's like saying that you filled out a form and you didn't. I don't think like that in the grand scheme is enough to say that Dunk is not really about that life. That's my opinion. People could feel differently, but that's how I feel about it. And yes, it would have been nice if Sir Arlen at least attempted to do the knighting, but in the end, he's more of a knight in how he carries himself and what he's doing with that title than half the people who did go and say the words and go through the ceremony, but it means nothing to them. It's just a formality that they do because it's a formality. They don't look at it as a real oath that they're swearing, if that makes sense. So that's why I personally don't feel like it's a big deal, but some do. But anyway, after that whole thing in his memory, we see that Dunk decides he's going to continue being a hedge knight. And he goes back to Maker and he's like, look, I will take him as a squire, but I'm not going to do it in Summerland. I'm not going to go and give the same training that every other, you know, noble born, passed to or bought knight is in this realm. Because if you've looked around, most of these knights ain't shit, quite frankly. Dunk didn't say that, but that's really what he meant. He's like, I want to train him the way I was trained. Like, I became this way because of the way Sir Arlen trained me. I mean, some of it was also because Dunk was always a good person, but Sir Arlen clearly had really good principles that he instilled in Dunk in their time together. And he's like, I don't think that Egg can become the kind of knight that even Baelor would have wanted to, you know, me to be and him to be if he's in the same gilded walls that all the rest of these knights are in. Like, he should learn about the world he's about to rule potentially at some point. And like you said, yeah, we'll be on the road sometimes. We'll be at an inn. We'll be staying at a lesser lordling's place. Like, we'll be living a humble existence, but I think it'll be good. And we hear Maker say, well, no, like, I'm not gonna put my kid through peasantry. Like, why would I do that? And I understand that Maker's motivation for that is that, you know, every parent who loves their kid wants them to live better, right? No one usually wants their kid to experience poverty, but really he was missing what Dunk was trying to tell him, in that the experience was going to help Egg see the world as one of his subjects, which is something he'll never get from inside King's Landing or one of their many properties, right? He has to go out there and experience it. He needs to see the people, experience the life with them. Most people outside of King's Landing have no idea who Egg is, and as long as he keeps that head shaved, they won't. So they won't treat him special. He'll get a chance to really see what it is to be out there, to know the plight of the common man, from the fisherman to the builder to the blacksmith to the landowner to the brothels people, like everything, the things that all make up this realm that he is supposed to be upholding. So many Targaryens have no idea how it works. And I love that Dunk came back with that, you know, I'm not gonna let my kid live as a peasant with, okay, but Darren also, you know, he slept in silk sheets and he drank the finest wine and things like that. And Aryan, he ate the best food there is, and he's, you know, and had all the best of everything. And like Dunk didn't say it, he didn't spell it out, but he made it pretty clear. Like, you got 3 kids, sir, and 2 out of them are not doing well. One's on the brink of taking himself out with his lifestyle, and the other one's a demon in flesh. So I feel like what you're doing isn't working. And you yourself just saw your son try to slit somebody's throat. He slit his own brother's throat. So, you know, definition of insanity is continuing to do the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That's kind of what's going on right now. So in the end, Maker said no, but I get it, because it's more of, I think now after losing his brother, almost losing his son, I think he's got a real fear around losing Egg, because he does know that Egg's probably the only son that he's got that's not completely terrible right now, but he doesn't want to lose that in any way. So, you know, I get why he does. And again, he has no concept of what Dunk is talking about either. So it's scary. So I get why he said no, but I really love that Egg was clearly, we didn't see it, but Egg must have overheard. He must have overheard that as well. So anyway, we see that that's what ends up leading him to finding Dunk later on and choosing to go with him without his father's consent. But I do think it is for the best, because Egg needs that real world experience. And also they need each other right now. You know, Dunk really needs to not be on his own right now. He needs Egg and his knowledge of the kingdoms and the customs, things that Sir Arlen probably never got a chance to get around to teaching Dunk. But on the other side of things, as I said, Egg needs a good, wholesome influence. He needs to get away from the toxicity of King's Landing. If he's ever to be a better king, the kind of king that Baelor would have wanted to be, he's got to get out there. He needs to see the realm with his own 2 eyes and experience it. So yeah, I really love that we ended on that note. The spiritual vision of Sir Arlen walking with them for a time and then deviating off on his own was a beautiful symbolism as well. Like, he's really been this guiding principle for Dunk, and he always will be, but he doesn't necessarily need to be by Dunk's side like that anymore, because he's got a new companion now. Dunk's not alone anymore. He's got a new travel companion. He's slid into the role of Arlen, where, you know, Egg is slid into the young Dunk. And so the cycle continues, but thankfully it's a good one, and hopefully a less boozy and, you know, abusive one than what poor Egg had to go through, or sorry, Dunk had to go through. But yeah, again, all in all, this was a bit of a long commentary, but since it is a kind of a summation of the whole season, I just wanted to kind of touch on those points. Again, what this show's been able to do in 30-minute episodes has been phenomenal, and I'm all the claps and snaps. As I said, my only critique is I wish that these episodes could have been longer. Hopefully, if we do get a season 2, we'll either get more episodes or slightly longer ones, because I do think we benefit from it. But either way, this was a lot of fun. Kudos to everyone involved. The lead actors, Dexter, Peter, they absolutely killed it. You can see the chemistry of everybody on this cast. Everyone nailed their roles. I have no notes about any of that. Written very, very well. You can tell that George R.R. Martin was way more involved with this one than, you know, what happened in the later stages of Game of Thrones and in House of Dragons. So it is refreshing to see that again. So I appreciated this. I loved it a lot. I really love also the interaction from the book readers and the community, the GOT community. You guys have been great. Thank you so much. If you made it to the end of this review, thank you so much for listening to my ramblings and supporting me. And of course, you know, all the comments and interactions. I appreciate them so much. So as I said, this is the end of this show, but I do react to other things Game of Thrones. So please do stick around in the family for those. And of course, hopefully you can find something else to watch in the meantime. Thank you so much for watching this video along with me. Hope you did enjoy it, and I hope to see you in the next one.